Hello, welcome. This is Samir. I'm back with one more Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. If you are joining live, type 1 in the comment. Say hello. If you are catching this up on replay, type 2 in the comment below. Also say hello. Ask me questions. This is Samir back with one more Facebook Live. I talk about messenger bots for businesses. And I have been getting into the nitty-gritty of how to build messenger bots, like getting into real basics of how to get started, even if you don't have any technical skills. So that's what I continue to do. And today what I'll do is I'll pick up from where I left off in my last video. And there is a little bit of context here because I'm building up on my previous work, but at the same time I'll try to make it as independent as I can. What we have been working on is something called growth tools. So I'm teaching you to build messenger bot, but at the same time, so we need to learn how to have the bot in place, how to have that software, the agent which talks, the bot itself. But at the same time, we need to figure out ways to drive traffic to the bot. Means we need to get people exposed to our bot, right? We need people to start talking with our bot, because otherwise the bot is not helpful. And there are different mechanisms which is called growth tools in the language of in the platform language. You know, we are using a platform, we are using a software, and it's called growth tool, which is nothing else but how to grow the subscriber base for your messenger bot. Hey Jatin, thanks for tuning in. I see your comment. Thank you for joining. If you have questions, let me know. Your feedback is also appreciated. Let me know what you think about these videos. If you think I need to be doing something differently, I welcome feedback. Let me know. So continuing, we are working on growth tools, different mechanisms where people can get exposed to the bot. Means people can land on Messenger. The bot resides within the Facebook Messenger app. So people have to go to your business messenger app, your business messenger. People have to start talking with that. And growth tools are just different mechanisms. So we started with something called overlay widget, which is a mechanism where people can be driven from your website to the messenger. And that's what we were working on, and it was not working yesterday. So I left it at the debug stage where I was trying to figure out the problem, why it's not working, and we will continue that debug process. As I've said earlier, I want to show you like all the steps how to do this, and I'll show you how I would kind of go about trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to switch to screen share here. And I'm going to switch to the tab that I was using yesterday. So here is the tool, the platform, manychat.com, that we have been using. And on the left side, there is the navigation. I might be moving my cursor too fast. Hopefully it's visible. We go to growth tools. Those are the mechanisms that we have been working on. And out of all this four, the overlay dynamic widget was something that we were working yesterday. So this is a bar or ribbon that you might have seen on some websites. In reality, it's a button that they have to click, which when they click that button, the visitor will be taken to the Messenger app. That button is right here, the blue button. But the button is not standalone. It's part of a dynamic widget, overlay widget, and it stays at the top of your website. You know, it's a bar or a ribbon sometimes called. And that's what we have been building. Like I was saying, when you build such buttons or mechanisms, as we will see going forward, it's not just buttons. There are other ways where people can interact and start landing on the Messenger app, we have to give people a reason to click that button or take some action, right? And here I'm showing you, we are offering them a free guide. And when they click on this button, they will land on our page. So initial state is where you can kind of configure the basics, the headline, the button title, and things like that, the colors and stuff, and other kind of design items. You can change those. There are some parameters you can change in terms of when the bar is displayed, how frequently it's displayed, and things like that. Then you go to the next tab here, which is the submitted state, which is kind of configuring how the bar looks once the person clicks on the button. Then opt-in action is the first message they see once they click on the get started button on the Messenger. So they click on the button on the bar or the ribbon that takes them to the Messenger app or the Messenger window, and they'll see the get started button on the Messenger window. And once they click on that get started button, they'll see this opt-in message. This message should greet them, should talk about the free guide because they are looking for it. And last is the setups tab or the setup step. So there's 4 tabs here you see: initial state, submitted state, opt-in actions, and setup. Those are the 4 steps of setting up the whole thing. And the final tab is where it kind of shows you the technical aspect of setting it. So there is a JavaScript code that we need to install. We did that yesterday on the website, and you can select which pages you want to show the ribbon or the bar and which pages you want to hide. So I selected just one page because I'm using that website, the other pages of the website, for other purposes, and I don't want it's live, and I don't want to necessarily disturb that and start showing people bar over there. So I'm trying to stick to just the one page. And yesterday when we tested, it was not working. Means I saved all the work, I made the growth tool active. Those are the 2 things you must do before it becomes active. And when I went to the page, for example this one, it was so this is the page here. This is the WordPress backend, and I was saying for some of you this might be kind of challenging because there is some technology involved here. I'm trying to explain it without assuming that you know stuff, although in some instances, you know, I might make assumption that you know certain stuff. If it's not clear, ask me questions in the comment, right? So this, I use WordPress. Many people use WordPress. You may not be using WordPress. I totally understand that. And I'm happy to help you with your platform if you need help. So I'm editing a page in my WordPress backend, and then I was trying to check whether the growth tool that I built is working or not. So let me first show this page because I made one change. I spent some time. So let's see, Jatin is saying something. Good content and presentation. Thank you, Jatin. WordPress is good enough to demonstrate. Yeah, that's what I hope, because, and besides, I don't know anything other than WordPress. I mean, I have worked a little bit on Wix and Squarespace and those platforms, but many people use WordPress, so that's what I am hoping that would be helpful. So thanks for that feedback, Jatin. Yeah, so let's kind of view this page. So I was playing with it, so I will update this page. I just clicked update, means it saves all the work. I haven't actually changed anything on the page. I just kind of playing with the address. The way WordPress displays the address is not relevant for this training. It's something totally kind of something else, something not directly related that I was playing with. So here I'm going to try to view this page. So I'm viewing this page, and what I'm going to do is I am going to copy the page address. So this is the page address. I want the widget that I'm building to appear only here on this page. So I'm going to copy the page widget here, and I'm going to make sure that I have that address here only show on this pages. I'm going to save, right? So I saved that, and now I'm going to go here. I'm going on the page, and I'm reloading the page, refreshing the page. Now the hope is that the widget you should be able to see the widget here. That was the hope, and it was not happening yesterday. So we will continue. We'll try to take steps and figure out what's going on. This is becoming more like more like a software debug type of a problem, but it's very common when you build this widgets. You might run into this. So I think hopefully it might be helpful to you. Okay, so I reloaded. I still don't see anything, right? So when this happens, I go back to the growth tools, and what I want to do is I want to check one more time that I installed the correct JavaScript snippet, right? So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to click on this install JavaScript button, which opens this pop-up here, this message, and it has 2 steps. Okay, installing the JavaScript has 2 steps. Step A is authorize website, and step B is actually installing the snippet. So step A, let's see, authorize the website. My domain is this chatbotmarketingcenter.com. I authorized it yesterday. So this looks fine. This website should already be authorized. All you have to do is so here they give you an example here, mysite.com. So you have to take your site's domain name, whatever it is. For me, it's Chatbot Marketing Center. So I take that domain name and .com. So that's what I did, and it will actually add 2 entries. I did not add 2 separate entries. So let me show you one more time. I'm going to click and delete my website from here, the authorization, and I'm going to re-add. So basically I am grabbing the name of my website, mysite.com, chatbotmarketingcenter.com. I don't know, to be just paranoid, I'm removing the HTTP stuff, because in the example they show it's not there. It probably doesn't matter, but I definitely had success in the past with removing the HTTP, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so here it is. When I did that, it added 2 entries. One is chatbotmarketingcenter.com and another is www.chatbotmarketingcenter.com. So you don't have to do that separately. You do it once and it adds those 2 entries. So then I click next here, and it takes me to this page where it shows the JavaScript code that needs to be added. So I'm reading the instructions one more time. This code allows ManyChat to display opt-in forms on your website and track subscriber activity. Install it just once per website and have unlimited fun with your widgets. Place it into the head section of every website. So I talked about this a little bit. You copy this code and you need to place in the head section of the website. Now, very technical stuff. If you are a WordPress person, you might be using a plugin to do that. I showed you that. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I use a plugin that lets me do that relatively easily. And that plugin is, okay, I'm going to go to my plugins list, installed plugins. It is a plugin, right, and not a theme. Add func head and footer code. Okay, so that's the plugin, add func head and footer code. That plugin lets me add global head and footer code across my website, and it lets me override on individual pages as well. And so it's installed, that plugin is installed. You can grab the name and use it if you would like, or you might have your own plugin. There are, I'm pretty sure there are literally at least, if not hundreds, tens of plugins which allows you to do the same thing. WordPress ecosystem is just huge. If you go to settings in WordPress backend navigation on the left hand side, go to settings, and then at the bottom somewhere you'll see head and footer code. Unfortunately, the plugin name and how it appears in setting is a little bit different. So this is the head and footer code. Top is the head section, the bottom is the footer section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove any uncertainty. I'm going to go back. It's copied. I'm going to copy one more time, and I am going to paste it. So there you go. I pasted the JavaScript code, global JavaScript code. It should be on all pages, and I'm going to show you in a second how to verify that it's actually appearing on all pages. So this is the test page that you have been working on. I went there. I went to all pages list, found out my page, and I am viewing that page now. So here it is. This page is there. I still don't see the bar or the ribbon, so we have some work that we need to do. Let's make sure the JavaScript is there, right? So what you do is, I'm assuming you are using Chrome, okay? But even if you're not using Chrome, you are using Firefox or Internet Explorer, there should be some similar functionality that lets you see the source code for the page. So we are looking for the page source. On Chrome, it's right click, and somewhere you'll see the page source. I go to the page source, and I'm looking for a unique signature here, right? I'm looking for this. So I'll search for this word, ManyChat. So I copied this word here. I go to this. This is the source page. Don't worry. I mean, it's all, I don't know, gobbledygook. You don't understand this language, that's fine. I do Control F, which lets me search on this page. We're just doing a text search, and I look for ManyChat. So right there, I see the code. Now I have 2 entries, okay? So that means I have added multiple widgets. So searching just for ManyChat is not enough. I need to search for this unique JavaScript file name, right? So this whole number, that is unique for this specific widget that we have been working on. So what I did was I copied that, and that's what I will search for. So again, Control F, search for that widget right there. So I do have that JavaScript installed, and there's nothing wrong. You can have multiple JavaScript widgets. They should not interfere with each other. They should let you have multiple things on your site. That's my understanding. I will verify that that's really the case. I'm pretty confident that that's the case. Install it just once per website. Yeah. So this specific snippet has been installed once on the website. So I verified that. Now let's see. So that is actually all that is needed. I only wanted to show here and not everywhere else. And it is saved. It's active. So let's see. I'm going to go. I didn't change anything, right? So there's still something going on that we don't know what it is. So when this happens, when you ensure that your script is installed properly, the next step that I try to do is I try to open that page in an incognito mode. Where incognito mode is, it clears all the cookies and it clears the sessions. Don't have to worry about all of that. It's kind of a fresh start for your browser. Okay, so let's try that and see if that helps. I am going to, so for Chrome, it's under File, a new incognito window. So I open that window, and now what I want to do is grab this address, go to that window and enter that address. Okay, so I did that. I opened an incognito window and I did that. I still don't see the bar or the widget. So yeah, so let's see. It's becoming a really kind of a challenging problem here. But don't worry, we'll figure it out. Sometimes it just takes many steps to figure it out. Sometimes when I get stuck, I just try to recreate from scratch and then see whether it should work when you try to recreate from scratch. Okay, but other thing I will check before I try to redo the whole thing is here. Just go back to initial state, because sometimes what happens is I might have set a percentage scroll for the window, right? That it will only fire when I scroll down and things like that. I don't have any of that set. I have set as immediately. That means as soon as I load the page, I should see the bar or the widget. So that I'm just verifying that it's in place. That's one thing. The other thing is I also have like show widget to the same user again after settings, right? Because maybe it showed you once earlier and then you have set it up to not be shown for few days, and within those few days, if you try to reload the page, you will not see the bar again. I also verified that it's always, so I should not be prevented. The bar should be visible even if I visited just yesterday, right? Because it should be visible always, no matter when you visit, it should always show. If manually closed by a user, show after, that also I have always, because there is a setting. If people don't want to see that, some people get annoyed by such pop-ups and bars and ribbons and widgets, and there is a way they can close that. There's this cross here. I'm just looking at the preview on the right side. There's this cross at the top right corner of the widget. You can close the widget, and just because I was testing, I've set it always to make sure that it does not prevent me from looking at that. So now this is becoming kind of really strange that I have everything in place. It just doesn't want me to show the thing, and it can be a bit discouraging for a new person that if this is so difficult, why should I do this and things like that. But bear with me, like it's we might have to. I kind of ended up picking like hitting a worst case scenario here, but hopefully that's helpful to you, because this will show you how to go debug all such problems. So we did incognito, we checked all the settings. I'm going to refresh one more time. I did disable the widget, enabled again, like basic reset kind of things. It's still not showing. Like right before this live, I actually tested once and it showed me once, but of course it doesn't want to show right now, so it doesn't matter, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build this from scratch. I'm gonna start building it again, and then we will test what happens, and hopefully that will give you some more practice, to give you some more kind of one more repetition at the whole thing, and hopefully it should work. If it just doesn't work, we'll go on to other types of buttons first and revisit this. Maybe I need to spend more time and figure out, but let's try from scratch one more time. So I'm going to go back in the ManyChat. I'm going to go to the navigation on the left hand side. I'm going to go to growth tools. Maybe I just recalled one thing I can check is this. Sometimes in the setup, just because I'm trying to show it on one page, it might have problems. So let me do this. Let me remove that. I mean, it's okay. My website is, I don't have like so much traffic that it will be a big problem. But basically, this setting, if it works, it shows on all pages, because sometimes it might not like the way I have put the address here. So let's try that. So basically I removed the settings that only show on a specific address. So that means it'll show on all pages of my website. It is saved, it is active, and I'm gonna go to this incognito window and I'm gonna reload. So I just reloaded, and nope, it just doesn't want to show up here. So let's go and let's do this from scratch. So I'm going to go back to growth tools. I'm going to go and delete that, delete the widget so that it doesn't interfere. I had something else in place. I'm going to delete that. So let's restart the process. So I click new growth tool on the top right corner. I click the opt-in bar. Right, so I'm going to name it overlay widget bar. I'm going to allow to hide bar, right? So if I don't allow to hide bar, it does, I mean, it's kind of, it forces itself on the user. It doesn't give that check cross mark to remove it. I don't want that to happen. I want the users to have the ability to remove it. This time let me stick with send to messenger, just because I just want to kind of quickly go through here and see whether this thing really works or not. And if it doesn't work, then I'll kind of do some more homework. What I was trying to show you all the debug steps because I didn't want to do things offline and then come back. Or maybe, I mean, I can do that. If it becomes too much, then I really need to spend time offline and I'll come back and show you. So I'm not going to change. We know like how to set it all up. I'm going to replace the message because I already have. So remember, this is the first message they see. And I already have, when you hit replace button, it'll show you the existing flows, existing messages you have. I already did for the last one that I built, overlay dynamic widget opt-in message. So I selected that. I chose that, then it'll show you here, it'll preview in this window, and you will have to select this green button on the right bottom right corner. So it replaced that. I'm going to save. I just saved that widget. I'm gonna go to next. I have a new JavaScript now. The site is already authorized. I'm gonna go next. I am going to copy this. I'm gonna go back to my WordPress backend. I'm gonna go to the dashboard. So here, let's see, settings, head and footer code. So I'm going to delete the old one. Just be careful, because you don't want to have the old code here. I just sometimes kind of visually verify that it's the new number in place, and just kind of going to check that it is in fact the new. Yeah, because in copying and pasting, sometimes you might make mistakes. So you want to make sure that that mistake is not there. Okay, so now let's see, finish, make this active, make this widget is activated. If I go on this site, okay, there you go. All right, so you see the widget there, right? So it works. Something happened in the last run where it just didn't want to show it, but as you can see, the widget is there. You can, you can beautify it, you can modify it, change call to actions, make sure you are helping user to land to messenger and all of that. Hopefully this kind of gives you an idea. I'm going to deactivate it because it's I just wanted to show a demo of how it can be done. Hopefully this is helpful. I'm almost at like a 30-minute mark here, past 30-minute mark, so I'm going to stop. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are watching the replay, please type 2, say hello. If you have any questions, type in your questions. I'm here to help. If you stick around and if you continue to watch, I will teach you everything you need to learn to build a messenger bot, a marketing messenger bot that will help you bring more leads, bring more sales for your business. So thank you again, and I'll catch you tomorrow around 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so bye.